Why do your poached eggs always crack? You carefully crack the egg gently and drop it into hot water. And suddenly, the egg white splatters, the yolk bursts, and all that's left is a cloudy, messy pot. No shape, not appealing, just disappointment. But the truth is, it's not your fault. It's your technique. Today, I'm going to show you how to poach eggs properly. No cracking, no sticking, no bubbling. Perfect, smooth egg whites, and a beautifully runny yolk. Even if you've never poached eggs before, you can get it right the first time. And if you think you already know how, there are a few secrets here that could completely change the way you poach eggs. Let's get started. These eggs are bought directly from a farmer, and frankly, they're dirtier than you think. On the surface, you can clearly see chicken droppings, feathers, and other impurities. This not only affects the appearance, but can also harbor harmful bacteria. If you skip the cleaning step, when you crack the egg, all that dirt and bacteria can easily get inside, affecting both the food and your health. Therefore, cleaning eggs isn't just an optional step. It's essential if you want your food to be both safe and delicious. Prepare a basin. Add 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, and about 1 liter of water. Stir well until everything is completely dissolved. Then, use paper towels to wash the eggs. Baking soda helps loosen stubborn stains, while salt helps disinfect. Together, they clean the eggs much more effectively. The reason is that when a hen lays eggs, the eggs pass through the anus, an organ used for both excretion and reproduction. Therefore, it is perfectly natural for bacteria and impurities to cling to the eggshells, which is why this cleaning step should never be skipped. Finally, rinse the eggs again with clean water to completely remove any remaining dirt and place them in a colander. You will notice the eggshells become clean, smooth, and much safer to use. Next, prepare a few shallow dishes. The shallower the dishes, the better your poached eggs will look, because you're almost completely eliminating the impact of the egg falling into the water. Just add a little water to each dish and swirl gently. This thin layer of water acts as a cushion, preventing the egg from sticking and helping it maintain its perfect shape before being placed in the pot. But here's the most important thing that many people often overlook. The fresher the egg, the better your poached egg will look. A fresh egg has 2 distinct layers of egg white. The first layer is the thick egg white, thick, jelly-like, and tightly enveloping the yolk. It's difficult to scoop it up with a spoon. The second layer is the thinner egg white, more liquid and watery, surrounding the outside. You can easily scoop it up. It's as watery as water. You can clearly see these 2 layers when you crack the egg onto a plate. When the egg is very fresh, the thick egg white takes up the larger portion and holds the yolk tightly. This layer determines the final shape of the poached egg. The thicker the egg white, the rounder, more beautiful, and tastier the egg. On the other hand, as eggs sit for longer, the thick egg white gradually becomes thinner. When dropped into water, this thin egg white will spread out into delicate strands, causing the egg to lose its shape and look messy. So how do you know if an egg is fresh? It's very simple. A slightly rough eggshell usually means the egg is still fresh. Gently shake the egg. If you don't hear any sound, the egg is fresh. If you hear water running inside, the egg is no longer fresh. Just understanding these things will give you an edge over most people when boiling eggs. And in the next section, I'll guide you on how to make perfectly round, unbroken, frothy, and smooth poached eggs, just like in a restaurant. If you want perfectly round poached eggs like in a restaurant, here's a secret step that many people often overlook. Don't crack the eggs directly onto the plate or drop them straight into the pot. Instead, crack the eggs through a fine sieve. Gently shake the sieve to allow the runny egg whites to drain through. Be careful. Shake very gently. If you shake too vigorously, the yolks can break immediately. The part that passes through the sieve is the runny egg white, the culprit that causes poached eggs to spread out and form messy white strands when in contact with hot water. Removing this part solves about 80% of the reason why poached eggs become messy. The more carefully you strain the eggs, the more beautiful, round, and neat the poached eggs will be. Finally, gently transfer the strained egg to a plate. You'll now see the egg white neatly enveloping the yolk, looking perfect from the start. Now, let's move on to the most important step, preparing the water for poaching. Pour water into a pot, and if possible, choose a pot with a wide opening. The ample space makes it easier to handle the eggs and gives them enough room to maintain their beautiful shape. Turn the heat to high and bring the water to a gentle simmer, not a rolling boil. If the water boils too vigorously, reduce the heat immediately. This is a small detail, but it directly determines whether the eggs will look good or not. And now for the question that many people debate. Should you add vinegar to the water? The answer is, you can, but you have to do it correctly. Vinegar creates a slightly acidic environment, which helps the egg whites coagulate faster. This prevents the egg whites from spreading in the water, reducing clumping and keeping the eggs in shape. However, many people find the eggs taste sour or the egg whites too hard. The reason isn't the vinegar, it's that they use too much. Just 1 to 2 teaspoons of vinegar per liter of water is enough to do its job without affecting the flavor. If your eggs are fresh and you follow the correct technique, filtering out runny egg whites, controlling water temperature, etc., you can boil perfectly round eggs without using vinegar. In other words, vinegar is just an assistant. The technique is the key. Now, gently drop each egg into the water. Remember, do not drop from a height. Drop gently to maintain the shape of the egg. Once the egg is in the water, let it sit. Do not stir or touch the egg while it is cooking. It's great to know that we meet all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's great to receive your support. Cover the pot for 2 to 3 minutes. When you open the lid, the egg will hold its shape very well. No membrane, no air bubbles, no white strands scattered around. Use a spoon to separate the egg if needed. You will see a soft, smooth, and opaque egg white completely enveloping the yolk. Lift them out with a slotted spoon. If you want a smoother, runny yolk, you can put the eggs in ice water for 30 seconds to 1 minute to shock them. The result: a soft, creamy, rich yolk with a smooth golden color. Eat immediately after removing from the ice water, or if you prefer a slightly firmer egg, you can skip the ice water step. Place the eggs on a plate. If you prefer a more thoroughly cooked egg, simply poach it for a few more minutes. With this simple method, you can easily poach many eggs at once. The poached eggs will be perfectly intact, round, and visually appealing. The runny yolk will resemble molten lava, incredibly tempting. Toast 2 slices of bread at 180 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes. With this toasting time and temperature, the bread will be perfectly crispy. After toasting, place the poached egg on top and enjoy. The soft, smooth egg white embraces the golden, creamy yolk. The yolk slowly seeps out, spreading across the bread to create a rich, natural sauce that perfectly complements the crispy toast. The subtle aroma of the egg combined with the warm bread makes each bite visually appealing and irresistibly delicious from the very first bite. Next, I will share how to make the sauce to enjoy with the poached egg. Add 1/2 tablespoon of light soy sauce for a light, salty flavor, and to enhance the natural umami, making the dish even more appealing. Add 1/2 tablespoon of oyster sauce to add flavor, a slight sweetness, and slightly thicken the sauce so it coats the egg evenly. Add a pinch of salt to balance the overall flavor and help all the flavors blend harmoniously. Add 1/4 teaspoon of sesame oil for a light, characteristic aroma that makes the dish more appealing from the first bite. Add some finely chopped green onions for freshness, vibrant color, and to prevent the dish from feeling heavy on the stomach. Finally, add a few tablespoons of egg broth. This contains a small amount of egg protein, which helps the sauce thicken naturally, become smoother, and prevent separation. Stir well, and you'll have a rich, flavorful, perfectly balanced sauce that significantly enhances the flavor of the poached eggs. Now the poached egg sauce is ready. Place the poached eggs in the sauce and enjoy. Looks delicious, doesn't it? Each poached egg has a soft, melt-in-your-mouth egg white, enveloping a rich, creamy yolk inside. With just one bite, the smooth, runny yolk instantly blends with the rich sauce, creating a perfect balance of salty, slightly sweet, creamy, and aromatic flavors. The more you eat, the more you appreciate the subtlety. Soft, smooth, creamy, and rich in flavor, with layers of taste slowly but irresistibly revealed. A seemingly simple dish, yet upon tasting it, you'll feel like you're enjoying a restaurant meal. Gentle, refined, and so delicious you'll want more immediately. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. Don't forget to share it with your family and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.